John, it's been a very interesting evening this evening. Opera and cricket come together. Would you have put that? Would that have been your choice?
Probably not. There wasn't much opera around when I was growing up, other than the fact that my mother enjoyed a bit of opera, but I certainly don't know anything about it. But cricket, yeah, I know a lot about that, if you like, but I don't know much about opera, I have to tell you.
But Wormsley as a setting, you can see that it would fit really well for both of the two activities.
Oh, absolutely. I think that when you talk about Wormsley, you're talking about one of the greatest venues, if you like, for cricket, definitely. That I know, and I can just see the opera side of it fitting in perfectly, and I think it's a great marriage, if you like. So I actually spent quite a lot of time down at Wormsley. Sir John Paul Getty was president, if you like, of my testimonial years back, so I got to know him relatively well. But you know, I can just see the facility working for the opera, and I think it'll be fantastic down there.
It's a ground that's seen some wonderful cricketers over the years. You've played a number of games there yourself, as you say, and what a great setting. And in fact, anybody would like to play there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the facility is brilliant. The pavilion, the thatched roof, the way you walk up the steps to it and all the rest of it. I was lucky again to play against a couple of touring teams down there. In fact, I have to tell you, I got 100 against the West Indies for Sir John Paul Getty. So that was a while back. But in reference to that, you know, it's a great facility, great place to enjoy socially. It's not just about the cricketers. You know, the actual amphitheatre of watching cricket from there and being part of it. You do feel part of it, and that's the best part. You know, sort of having a glass of champagne, watching the cricket with the sun shining. There is no better English country scene anywhere in the world, I promise you. Well, why would there be anywhere else in the world? It's in England, of course, but there you go.
Well, you've set a fantastic scene there, champagne, watching brilliant cricket, which brings me nicely on to recent events down in Australia. Now, you've been there, you've been part of an England tour, which, you know, it's such a special place to play cricket, and this most recent result really has to be right up there with just the best performances.
Indeed it does. I mean, I was lucky enough to be there in '86, not as a player with England, but I was playing in Perth in Western Australia, club cricket. And to be an Englishman in Australia then was a fantastic time. I've only been back once since, and that was in reference to me going on an Ashes tour in 1991, where we lost 3-0. So I know what it's like to lose in an Ashes tour. So these guys must be feeling 10 foot tall. And absolute credit to them, because the way they played, they dominated the series. Absolutely dominated the series. When they lost in Perth, it didn't matter. It was a blip. And they bounced back fantastically, and the result that they've ultimately gained, 3-1 win, was phenomenal. And I'm so proud to be an Englishman, if you like, thinking about our cricketers in Australia, because I know what it's like to tour there, and I know how tough it is.
We've been on the end of hiding, if you like, for many years. 3 wins by more than an innings. It's quite extraordinary that England have performed, you know, that the gap has been so big.
I actually said in an interview with, I think, one of the newspapers, that England would win 2-0. So they've actually gone past it. You know, they've won the series by 2. I'm getting heckled even here.
And you're not Australian.
Correct. Not by an Australian either. I said we'd win 2-0. We've won the series by 2. I didn't think that they had the ability to bowl us out, but I thought we needed to have Cook play well, and I thought we needed to have Bell play well, because we expect the others to play well. You know, Cook was probably only a game away from being left out, and has played fantastically well. Great series for him. Got the confidence and set the tone of the England team, I felt, right the way through. And the way Bell's come on, I know he's batting in a position of 6 where it can be perceived as being easier, but second new ball normally comes around there, and he's just been a different class, and I think this kid can go on from strength to strength now.
You've picked out a few names there, but as Team England goes forward, the Strauss and Flower partnership really has put their stamp on this, and potentially, you know, for years to come, it's been said that in the next time around only 2 will be missing, you know, which could be Collingwood and Strauss for the next Ashes, for the next era, if you like.
Well, you build a dynasty, don't you? That's the thing what you do, and you know, these guys have got something to hold on to here, I think. We've got some quality young players coming through. You know, Bresnan, what a pick. You know, where did that come from? Nobody saw it happening really at the time. Came into the side and hasn't looked out of place. Tremlett the same. You know, we've got a little bit of a conveyor belt going here, as Australia had over that dominant period that they had. And it does go in cycles. And what we've got to learn from is the fact that what Australia did do, they lost all their great players at the same time. We mustn't do that. We must feed players in at the right time and keep the balance of the team going forward. And if we do that, there's no reason why we can't be dominant for a long period of time as well now.
The dressing room is probably quite different from it was years ago. We've just heard this evening from Gladstone Small and David Graveney about how times have changed and the fun element. England, they must be having fun now.
Well, I would hope so. You know, Beefy, I've watched it, you know, like everybody has in the winter months. You know, the test matches from Australia, stay up at night and watch it. And Beefy's always like, come on boys, enjoy this, enjoy this. Do they enjoy it as Beefy would have enjoyed it? Probably not. However, I think the way they're enjoying it is their way now. And as I say, they'll be proud of their achievements, and rightly so. So I think their enjoyment is probably a little bit different than what Beefy would expect it to be. As probably I would have expected it to be, and probably players previous to me that played. So, you know, I would hope that they've enjoyed it their way and enjoy what they've achieved, and there's no reason why they shouldn't.
Now, last time round, English cricket didn't quite maybe grab the mantle, if you like, of an Ashes win. Do you think this time round people really can see cricket as the way forward for many walks of life?
Well, cricket, I think, has always been around the walks of life, if you like. I think that the relevance of people that watch the game. We have a big following in England, in the UK, not just England. And we've got to get on the back of that, there's no doubt. These guys will come back in, should come home, and the interest should be there for the series in the summer. We've got India and Sri Lanka over here, which will be a great test, but it'll be on our surface, it'll be on, in our conditions, with a team that's confident. David Graveney mentioned tonight that within 12 months we could well be #1 in the world, and I wouldn't disagree with that, because I really do think we've got a really good outfit there that's there. We've got depth in bowling, we've got depth in batting, and if you've got that, you can ease players in and out when you need to. And you know, as I said, you know, Finn getting left out, leading wicket taker, Michael Holding, who I played with at Derbyshire for a number of years, was like, what are England doing? But it was a great decision, because Bresnan came in and took that mantle on, and that was a difference at times. So we've got that conveyor belt of players. These guys should come back now, take the accolades that they're given, and the country get behind cricket in the UK, well, in the UK, in the British Isles. And if they do that, as I say, it should filter down right the way through the game that I'm involved in at county level, with Derbyshire, through the kids and everybody else, and get behind cricket again.
Many celebrations, you know, champagne, all the rest of it. If England do get to #1 stage, will we see you in a biplane tipping the wings, maybe over Lords or over Derbyshire County Ground?
No, I think you learn by mistakes, don't you, as they say. Don't make the same mistake twice. It never, ever will go away from me, I'm sure of it. I've been here tonight and it must have been mentioned 15 times to me. So in reference to that, I think it's something I'm just going to have to live with. But no, I won't be going in a biplane again.
So listen, thanks for your time, and I know you've had a good night tonight, and we appreciate you talking to us. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.